Hello, my friends. Welcome back. Your coach Magnifico is in the house. Yes, yes, yes. Today is going to be module 4, lesson 21. Whoop, whoop. Okay, now look at this. We have a series of three problems, and we're going to find the equivalent fractions in decimals. Now, let me give you a little bit of something that you need to know. We need to find when we solve a problem, we're going to turn the denominators into either a tenth, so we can translate that into or write into, let me not write a number here. So we can just we know that we need only one place in that answer. Then we can write it also in 100, and that will be, it has two zeros, so that will be into two decimal places. And the third one will be writing the answer in thousands. Now, why is that important? Because this will allow you to write it again as a decimal. So this decimal will be one, two, three places. Okay, so that's important. You need to remember that. Let's look at the first problem. 1/5 times 2/2. So let's solve the problem. 1/5 times 2/2. So let's find the equivalent fractions in decimals. So now, once again, let me model for you. They already gave us a number to multiply by. So in this case, we know that 5 times 2 equals 10, and 10 and 1 times 1 equals 2. So this you read it as 2/10. Now we'll write a decimal, and if we look at our help up here, our little box right here, when you're doing a tenth, then you write it with only one place. If you're doing hundredths, then you write it in two places. And if you're doing thousandths, you're converting into thousandths, you need that three places in it. So now this one is only one place. So that's going to be 2/10. So now we have the answer for the first multiplication of fractions. The next one is 1/4. Okay, and this one, they did not tell us to find, they're asking us to write equivalent fractions. So now we have to come up with a number that will either equal that tenth, or or hundredth, or thousandth. Okay, so now if you multiply the number by 4, it will never give you 10, it will give you 8 or 12. So we cannot do this. But if we think about money, we know that $1 has 4 quarters. So that lets me know that we can multiply 4 times 25, and that will equal 100. So we found what we needed. Now the numerator is multiplied by the same number. Now you multiply across. 1 times 5 equals 25 equals 25 hundredths. So now we can write here on the answer that 1/4 equals 25 hundredths as a fraction, or 25 hundredths as a decimal. Okay, my friends, go ahead and view the video again. Rewind it if you need to. Our next problem says 1/8. This one is a little bit trickier because 1/8. See, I know this for I have memorized this, but if you're one of those students that don't know, this will be a good way to do it. So I can either make the denominator into 10 when I multiply it by a number here, or I can make it into 100 or into 1,000. Okay, so for sure I know it cannot be multiplied by any number to give me a 10, so I'm going to discard this. 8 times 10 equals 80. 8 times 11 is 88. That will be, A will not be close to it. So now I know that my answer has to be 125. This I know for a fact, that you have to multiply A by 125 to give you thousandths. When you multiply across, your answer is 1 times 125 equals 125. Now, the equivalency is right here. We're gonna write now the same number, and we're gonna write the equivalent fractions. So now we know that 1/8 equals 125 thousandths, and that equals in decimal form 125 thousandths. Watch the video again and learn today what you need to learn. Signing out, your coach.